Good afternoon. It's great to be here again. I started to think about what I might say today when I was exercising on my rowing machine. It's a kind of exercise that's not very pleasant, but very effective. And being the engineer I am, I calculated how much energy I can generate just from rowing. Turns out I can keep a pace of 200 watts for about 30 minutes, and that translates into 0.1 kilowatt hours. That's roughly, if you compare to the average CO2 content on the German power grid, I could save 0.04 kilograms of CO2. And I'm quite exhausted afterwards. But if it's still a bit of an abstract number for you, let me put it into perspective for you. My car has a battery capacity of 13.5 kilowatt hours. To charge my car fully, I would have to row 67 hours non-stop. And it would only get me 50 kilometers of range. If I used the same physical effort to cycle on a bicycle, I could go all the way from my office in Cologne to my office in London and halfway back. So it makes me feel rather small and helpless, especially if you consider we have to reduce CO2 emissions by 50 gigatons. So this could be very depressing. But luckily, I'm an engineer, and at Energy Impact Partners, we believe in technology. And the technology that generates power the most cost effectively is solar power. So I went online, bought a set of solar panels, very easy, and it's great. On a good day in June, my panels generate roughly 30 kilowatt hours of energy. That is twice of what my car needs. And actually, it's 300 times of what I could do with my exercise. So not bad, but unfortunately, it doesn't change the needle, doesn't move the needle on a global scale. And that is where entrepreneurialism comes in. So this is Alex Meltzer, the founder of Solar, and he has built a great company that made residential solar very simple and affordable. And he has helped getting thousands and thousands of solar systems on rooftops. We have invested in several of his funding rounds. So I would claim by backing Alex and his firm, I have increased my personal impact by another 1,000 times. Quick check, so 300 times through using technology, another 1,000 times by backing a great entrepreneur. So that's 300,000 times the impact of what I could do with my exercise. Great, but actually Alex should be installing panels on all 16 million roofs in Germany. He should be installing panels across Europe, across the world. So what can I do? How can we act as a catalyst of change? So the technology works, great. The business is scalable. Now it's really only, if you will, about money. But a lot of money, in that case, roughly 100 million euros. And this is where the next element of venture capital comes in. It is about trusted ecosystems of fellow investors. Bringing an investor into a company is not easy. It's much easier to work with parties that somebody in the boardroom has had a relationship before, worked on transactions before. And some of you might have seen the news. Solar just raised a funding round of 100 million, and they brought in one of the largest investors in the world, GIC. This money will give Alex and his firm the resources to grow his company 10x over the next years. And for those who have followed my math, it would also increase my personal impact by a factor of 10 again. So I think we all in this room have kind of the power to combine technology, entrepreneurship, and capital. And if we do that, we can really increased the impact of what we could do with our bare hands 3 million times each. It is a big responsibility. But if we all use that superpower of venture capital, we can really build the next generation of companies that help to decarbonize the planet. And by the way, it's much more fun than working out on a rowing machine. Thank you.